In a time saturated with emojis and hashtags, our reliance on symbols, the linchpin of universal communication, is often overlooked. From dusk in Buenos Aires to dawn in Bangkok, online spaces intimately weave graphics, interactivity, and digital reality into our lives. And yet, this modern dazzle pales in the light of profound symbolic traditions that have facilitated cross-cultural understanding for thousands of years. While digital platforms promise a myth of global connectivity, they overlook the essence of true communication. This essence has always been our means to bridge cultural gaps and weave shared narratives. Universal symbols like the Chinese character Jia representing home and family reflect the recurring themes of human experiences across cultures. Words such as the Arabic salam and the Swahili amani, both conveying peace, bear testimony to this hope for global unity. This endeavor is not confined to linguists or historians alone. We all are potential ambassadors. But effectively navigating cross-cultural interactions requires individuals to genuinely engage with these shared experiences. In doing so, we ignite a spark of diplomatic relationships, partnerships, and innate respect between different civilizations. Close your eyes and imagine the image of the heart signifying love. Now look at the TV. No death or destruction or downfall you hope to see there will bring you the same joy. But what captivates your attention? We don't merely decode symbols. Integrating practical, emotional, and creative expressions is a shift from merely knowing symbols to living them. They arm us with understanding and comprehension that goes beyond academic curiosity. By internalizing symbols like the evocative Jia or the harmonizing salam, individuals catalyze deeper diplomatic ties, collaborations, and an intrinsic respect between civilizations. Recognizing shared symbols underscores the power of individual initiative in bridging vast cultural expanses. In city squares from London to Rome, Tokyo to Bangkok, I've walked through, you see symbols in juxtaposition, living testaments to countless individuals who've made the conscious choice to mix, share, and celebrate their symbols. Consider the smells and sounds not as the mere atmosphere, but as symbols themselves, flavoring your memories with dishes and scents. Examine the uniform movement of the crowd in response to a changing light, and ponder the question of free will in the rat race. Just as symbols in languages like the universally recognized heart that signifies love bind us, regional cultural treasures draw attention to the rich and diverse experiences that make up our shared human story. Open your mind and heart, and symbols may help to better understand yourself. Consider the concept of Ubuntu from Southern Africa, or the Hawaiian aloha spirit. These aren't just words, but encapsulations of entire worldviews. Ubuntu emphasizes the interconnectedness of all, loosely translating to "I am because we are," while the aloha spirit embodies love, peace, and compassion. Both underline a sense of community and shared humanity. These principles, while regionally specific, echo sentiments that resonate universally. The symbols we encounter, adopt, and share help in crafting a more inclusive narrative for future generations. By diving deep into these regional treasures, individuals can further enhance the intricate dance of global interactions, recognizing and revering the universality of experience. Moreover, as individuals, the more symbols, beliefs, and philosophies we expose ourselves to, the richer our personal tapestry becomes. Every individual, thus, plays a pivotal role in this global dance. It's in these intersections of cultural understanding that the world begins to move closer, not just in communication, but in heart and spirit. In a world striving for cohesion, our pursuit shouldn't just be to understand and appreciate our cultural tapestry, but to weave it into a structured framework that stands as a testament to humanity's shared aspirations. The real challenge, and indeed our collective goal, is to ensure that the wisdom of millennia, carried through symbols and practices, is channeled into creating a structured, universal framework of communication and understanding. Doing so will be a testament to mankind's commitment to unity. Just as the heart symbol transcends languages to signify love, this unified structure must transcend cultural nuances to pave the way for unequivocal understanding. In this grand endeavor, every individual has a part to play. By engaging with, understanding, and sharing the myriad symbols, beliefs, and philosophies they encounter, they not only enrich their personal worldview, but actively contribute to this universal framework. This isn't just about enhancing one's knowledge, it's about being a beacon of unity in a world that often focuses on divisions. We stand at the cusp of true global understanding. While the true breadth is only beginning to come into view, Advancements in technology and communication provide an unprecedented opportunity for the integration of knowledge. We stand poised for an ascent, driven by knowledge and understanding, but powered through our conscious will to overcome our own divisions and celebrate, cherish, and champion our shared human journey.
In the quiet dawn of thought's first light, we chase the stars beyond our sight, through endless skies and oceans deep, in dreams where waking fears don't sleep. Our hearts, they yearn for all unknown, to make the vast, the boundless, our own, yet often lost in shadows cast by questions too grand, too far, too vast. What we want to know embodies our deepest curiosities and aspirations. It's the pursuit of knowledge driven by personal interest, wonder, and sometimes fear. This facet is boundless, fueled by imagination and the desire to uncover the unknown, whether it's the mysteries of the universe, the workings of the human mind, or the secrets of ancient civilizations. However, this pursuit is not always grounded in practicality. It can sometimes lead to chasing dreams that lie beyond our reach, creating a tension between desire and reality. But here within the world we tread, lie truths that keep our lives well fed. The simple facts, the needful laws, the wisdom built with careful cause. These are the stones that pave our way, guiding our steps from day to day, in fields where knowledge sows its seed of what we must and not just need. What we need to know is grounded in the realm of necessity, representing the essential knowledge required for survival, functionality, and progression. It's the knowledge that enables us to make informed decisions, sustain life, and interact meaningfully with the world around us. This knowledge is often dictated by the demands of our environment and society, such as understanding the laws of nature, the principles of health, or ethical norms. Although it might not always align with our desires, it forms the foundation upon which all other knowledge builds. Yet there's a line where light must fade, a limit to the tools we've made. For all we seek and all we crave, there's much we cannot grasp or save. The edge of knowing draws us near to boundaries set by doubt and fear. Here lies the world, both vast and small, where human hands can't touch it all. What we can know represents the boundaries of human cognition and empirical understanding. It's defined by the current state of science, technology, and our innate limitations as human beings. While it expands as we develop new tools and theories, it remains inherently constrained by our physical senses, cognitive capacities, and the complexity of the universe. This is the frontier that continuously challenges and expands, yet always remains a step ahead of our full grasp. So here we stand on shifting ground with what we've lost and what we've found. Between the wish, the need, the know, a dance of steps both fast and slow. In every choice a path is shown, in every truth a seed is sown. We seek, we find, learn, we grow through what we want and need and know. The necessity of knowledge often propels the expansion of what we can know. For example, the urgent need to understand diseases has driven advancements in medical science. These advancements in turn push the boundaries of what we can know, opening new avenues for exploration and feeding our curiosity. We start with dreams that stretch and soar, a hunger born from something more, to grasp the worlds not yet revealed, to break the locks that keep them sealed. But as we reach, the sky pulls back, reminding us of what we lack. Desire ignites, but shadows grow, as what we want lies far below. There's a constant feedback loop where limitations in what we can know temper our desires. When confronted with the edges of our understanding, our ambitions might shift towards more attainable goals. Conversely, our relentless curiosity challenges these limits, often leading to breakthroughs that redefine what we can know. Yet, needs arise, they shape our quest, they carve the paths where we invest. For in the soil where roots take hold, the truths we need are strong and bold. They guide our hands, they clear our sight, through simple dawns and darkest night. Yet even needs in time may yield to wants unbound and unfulfilled. The most profound moments occur when these three elements align. This convergence leads to breakthroughs. When the knowledge we seek out of curiosity is also what we need for practical reasons and is within our capability to understand. The discovery of DNA is a prime example where scientific curiosity, necessity, and possibility converged, leading to a monumental leap in biological science. When all align, the stars combust. What we can know, we trust. But when they clash, when worlds collide, we feel the pull of either side. Yet in this dance we learn to see. The space between is where we're free to push, to pull, to rise, to fall. In want, in need, we find it all. On the flip side, dissonance occurs when there's a disconnect, when our curiosity leads us towards unattainable knowledge, or when crucial knowledge needs to be overshadowed by less practical but more intriguing pursuits. This imbalance can result in frustration, wasted resources, or missed opportunities to address more immediate concerns. At the boundary where light fades dim, we face the limits set within. What we can know stands tall and firm, a fortress built by time's own term. But once push hard, they strain the gate, they challenge fate, defy the weight. But knowledge yields, it cracks, it wakes, and with each want a new path takes.
Have you ever wondered what it truly means to know something? A question that unveils the complexity of knowledge itself. In our quest to understand, we encounter two contrasting perspectives: the Socratic Credo, an affirmation of knowing nothing as the beginning of wisdom, and the expertise paradigm, the belief in assumed comprehensive knowledge. These two paradigms, each with its unique approach to knowledge acquisition and application, offer us profound insights into the nature of knowing. Let's delve into these two paradigms and explore what they reveal about the pursuit of knowledge. Socrates, the ancient philosopher, famously said, "I know that I know nothing." This statement, known as the Socratic Credo, is a profound admission of humility and an acknowledgement of the infinite expanse of knowledge yet to be discovered. The first aspect of this credo is the acknowledgement of one's limitations in knowledge. Socrates believed that true wisdom lay in the recognition of one's own ignorance. By admitting that we know nothing, we open ourselves up to the possibility of learning, unhampered by the constraints of assumed knowledge or preconceived notions. The second aspect of the Socratic Credo is the continuous pursuit of knowledge. Socrates was a relentless seeker of truth, always questioning, always probing. He believed that the quest for understanding was a lifelong journey, not a destination. This constant pursuit of knowledge, driven by the acknowledgement of our own ignorance, keeps us humble and grounded. It encourages us to keep our minds open and receptive, ready to absorb new information and ideas. The third and final aspect of the Socratic Credo is the humble application of knowledge. According to Socrates, knowledge in itself is not sufficient. It must be applied wisely and modestly. We must use what we know to better ourselves and the world around us, always bearing in mind that our understanding is limited and that there is always more to learn. In essence, the Socratic Credo is a philosophy of humility, curiosity, and continual learning. It is a reminder that the quest for knowledge is an ongoing process, and that the wisest among us are those who recognize their own limitations and strive to learn more. In the Socratic Credo, wisdom lies not in certainty, but in the recognition of one's ignorance and the unending quest for understanding. Contrast this with the modern notion of the expert, a person who is assumed to have comprehensive knowledge in a particular field. This is the foundation of what we call the expertise paradigm. Picture this as a tightrope walker, perfectly balanced on a thin wire of certainty, believing he has comprehensive knowledge of his craft. But the wind of change is unpredictable, and this assumed expertise, this certainty, is his first misstep. This belief often gives rise to a closed or unquestioning mindset, the second characteristic of the expertise paradigm. It's as if the tightrope walker has closed his eyes, convinced he knows all there is to know about his craft. He stops learning, stops questioning. He believes he knows enough to navigate the wire without looking, without further understanding. The final aspect of the expertise paradigm is the rigid application of knowledge. Again, visualize our tightrope walker. He moves in a straight line, using his knowledge inflexibly, without considering the possibility of being wrong, of falling. He is certain of his steps, his moves, his knowledge. He does not waver, he does not adjust, he just applies what he knows, rigidly, unquestioningly. This creates a cycle, a self-reinforcing loop of certainty that resists new insights. The tightrope walker is so sure of his knowledge, so rigid in his application, that he rejects any suggestion of change, of growth, of learning something new. He's trapped in a cycle of his own creation, a cycle that may ultimately lead to his downfall. The expertise paradigm, then, is a false equilibrium. It's a kind of balance, yes, but a dangerous one. It's a balance based on the assumption of comprehensive knowledge, a closed mindset, and the rigid application of knowledge. It's a balance that resists change, growth, and new insights. And so, in the expertise paradigm, knowledge is seen as a possession to be acquired and defended, rather than a journey to be embarked upon. It's a paradigm that stands in stark contrast to the Socratic credo, the idea of knowing that we know nothing. The expertise paradigm, in essence, is a trap, a cycle of certainty that ultimately limits our understanding and growth. So, how do these two perspectives compare, and what implications do they have for our understanding of knowledge? Let's delve into the world of the Socratic credo and the expertise paradigm, two contrasting perspectives on knowledge. The Socratic credo is a humble approach that begins with the admission, "I know that I know nothing." This acknowledgement of ignorance sparks a continuous quest for knowledge, which is then used with humility and wisdom. It's a cycle of continuous learning, where the more you know, the more you realize how much there is to learn. On the other hand, the expertise paradigm starts with the assumption of comprehensive knowledge. This belief in one's own expertise often results in a closed mindset, a lack of curiosity, and the rigid application of knowledge. It's a cycle of certainty and rigidity, where the more you know, the more you believe you have nothing more to learn. The Socratic credo and the expertise paradigm thus have different attitudes towards ignorance. While the Socratic credo views ignorance as a starting point for learning, the expertise paradigm views it as something to be eliminated. This difference in attitude extends to learning as well. For the Socratic credo, learning is a continuous process, while for the expertise paradigm, it's a finite process that ends with expertise. When it comes to applying knowledge, the Socratic credo emphasizes humility and flexibility, while the expertise paradigm leans towards rigidity and inflexibility. The Socratic credo encourages questioning and exploration, leading to profound wisdom and growth. In contrast, the expertise paradigm fosters a sense of certainty that can inhibit new insights and lead to stagnation in understanding. So, what can we gather from these contrasting perspectives? The Socratic credo promotes a growth mindset, a thirst for knowledge, and the humility to understand that we don't know everything. The expertise paradigm, however, risks fostering a fixed mindset, a sense of complacency, and the arrogance that comes with assumed certainty. As we can see, the Socratic credo and the expertise paradigm offer two very different ways of approaching knowledge, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. So what can we take away from this exploration of the Socratic credo and the expertise paradigm? The Socratic credo invites us to embrace our ignorance, to continuously seek knowledge, and to apply it with humility. Conversely, the expertise paradigm is a cycle of assumed certainty and rigidity, often leading to stagnation in true understanding. Ultimately, the pursuit of knowledge is a journey, not a destination, and perhaps we would do well to bear in mind Socrates' wisdom. I know that I know nothing.
In the realm where numbers dance and spirits soar, where math and mystics open every door, daughters and sons with pen and with soul, charting the cosmos, making us whole, from Hypatia's scrolls to the circles in sand, a journey through time, a divine hand, in every equation a deeper truth, in every orbit eternal youth, the circle of knowledge boundless and bright, guiding us gently from day into night. In math we find beauty, in circles we see the infinite connection, the key to be free. With Lovelace's vision we dream beyond gears, through Franklin's lens the helix appears. Sons of God in geometry divine find unity in the circle, a line. The seasons turn, in cycles we learn, from the stars above to the earth we yearn. In every atom the circle's grace, a universal language across time and space. The circle of knowledge where wisdom meets faith, in the harmony of logic a sacred wraith. Mathematics and mystics in tandem they dance, in the patterns of life we find our chance. So let us circle hand in hand with open hearts, where science and spirit, where end is but start. In this ballad of knowledge a path we pave for daughters and sons, brave and grave. In the legacy of those who dared to dream we find our place in the grander scheme. Through numbers and shapes the mysteries unfold, in the circle of knowledge our stories told. The circle of knowledge, a journey, a quest, in the search for truth we find our rest. In the unity of all, a lesson so bold, in the circle of knowledge our futures foretold. So we weave this ballad from earth to the skies, in the circle of knowledge our spirit lies. With each discovery, with each loving deed, in the circle of knowledge we find our creed.
In the intricate dance of societal progress, Three pillars stand out as vital forces shaping our collective journey. The inherent dignity of humans, A, freedom of thought, B, and the pursuit of knowledge, C. A community that's actively engaged and empowered fosters a profound respect for human dignity. A. By participating in communal activities and voicing their thoughts, individuals exercise their freedom of thought, B, and collectively contribute to a richer pool of knowledge, C. These principles aren't isolated silos, but rather intertwined threads that weave the fabric of an enlightened society. Respecting human dignity fosters an environment where thoughts roam free and the quest for knowledge remains unquenched. But as with all things, the absence or neglect of one can have ripple effects on the others. Recognizing human dignity encourages responsible and ethical behavior, fostering an environment conducive to critical thinking and expression of diverse ideas. When individuals feel valued, they're more likely to engage in thoughtful discourse and seek knowledge with integrity. This thinking further paves the way for the active pursuit of knowledge. In essence, when we value humans and their rights, we naturally create a space where free thought flourishes, guiding us towards knowledge and truth. Conversely, in the absence of critical thought and the pursuit of knowledge, there's a decline in the recognition and respect for human dignity. A society that doesn't encourage its members to think critically risks losing touch with the core value of respecting every individual's inherent worth. Open debate and dialogue embody freedom of thought, which in turn respects and values each individual's perspective. Such dialogues contribute to the collective pursuit of knowledge by exposing individuals to a myriad of opinions, fostering a sense of community built on mutual respect and understanding. Prioritizing education is foundational to the pursuit of knowledge, nurture respect for human dignity, and enable the freedom to explore and express diverse ideas. A well-educated society that values literacy is also a society that respects human rights and freedoms, which is why education and literacy are the target of everyone who wants to take your rights, twist your hearts, and exploit your labor. When education is restricted and books banned, human dignity is disregarded. Without open dialogue and a lack of respect for human dignity, freedom of thought is inhibited. Without respect for human dignity, coupled with a limitation on freedom of thought, the genuine pursuit of knowledge becomes a challenge. Since the loss of anyone leads to the loss of the other, societies that devalue their people, A, restrict debate, B, and don't prioritize education, C, find themselves locked in cycles where their populace becomes less curious, less open, and less driven to seek out truth. A lack of education can stifle not just the individual's growth, but also their ability to think freely and respect the inherent value of all humans. If you think about this carefully, you will realize that we can only address the problem by fixing all three at once.
In the cosmic dance of night and day, where stars in silent orbits play, a pattern deep and darkly spun, in harmony we are as one. As above, so below, they say, in ancient lore of yesterday. The heavens and the earth align, echoing the same design. At heart, the monad firm does stand, source of all in cosmic strand. From this unity light gleams, birthing love, weaving dreams. Then the dyad cleaves the stream of affirmation and negation's beam, unveiling shadows, light's delight, a poised balance day and night. The triad's balance in art does show, light and dark in harmony's flow. A structure deep, profound, and grand, in logic's dance we understand. Systematic pathways lead to discernment's sacred seed. Attributes align, fates intertwine. In the triad's wisdom, minds align. Over the next few minutes, we will explain the basic patterns that underlie reality, replicating throughout as the systems we perceive and understand. But first, a little background. Systematicity emphasizes how different components interact, influence each other, and contribute to the overall behavior and functionality of the system. Systematicity ensures that systems, whether they be cognitive processes, ecosystems, or technological frameworks, operate in an organized manner, allowing for predictability, stability, and adaptability. In philosophical contexts, systematicity helps explain the unity and coherence of knowledge, as seen in Immanuel Kant's work, where different cognitive faculties interact systematically to form coherent understanding. In scientific disciplines, systematicity underpins theories and models that describe the interdependencies within complex systems, such as Ludwig von Bertalanffy's general systems theory or Norbert Wiener's cybernetics. By understanding and modeling these interconnections, researchers and practitioners can develop more comprehensive and effective solutions to complex problems. Triadic modeling. The triadic modeling approach is a powerful framework for analyzing and understanding systematicity. It involves examining the relationships and interactions between three interconnected elements, allowing for a nuanced and comprehensive analysis of how systems function. Triads allow us to focus on specific sets of attributes and interactions within a system that controls specific outcomes, not to the detriment or exclusion of others, but to understand more and deeper levels of interconnectedness. Triads can themselves be related to each other using the same patterns, providing a comprehensive method for mapping systems, identifying and categorizing different types of interactions, dependencies, and feedback mechanisms within a system. The real value of the triadic patterns comes from their logical modeling using necessary conditions. By aligning specific triadic interactions to specific logical triads, we can enhance the predictive usefulness and mathematical representation of the system. This structured approach allows for a more precise and comprehensive understanding of the dynamics within complex systems. Each model exists as three conjoined logical statements, utilizing three variables. The logic of the statements create dependencies amongst the variable that ensure all must be true together or false together, representing the essence of homeostasis. There are 22 because that is the number of ways we can organize logical statements to this end, and thus comprehensively demonstrate the ways in which interlinked three-object systems can interact. Just like our content cannot exist without my efforts and your subscriptions, so please hit that subscribe button now. And so, without further ado, allow me to present 22 triadic models for understanding the systemic nature of the universe. Coexistence. This triad suggests that the elements exist together in a mutually dependent manner. If one element exists, the other two must also exist. It describes a balanced, static system where the presence of one implies the presence of all. Equilibrium. This represents a state where the absence of one element necessitates the absence of the others. It portrays a stable system where non-existence is balanced across the elements. Reinforcement. This triad represents a cyclic system where each element reinforces the next, creating a positive feedback loop. The presence or activation of one element propels the entire system forward. Feedback. Negative feedback is highlighted here, where the absence or decrease in one element leads to the absence or decrease in the next, and so on in a loop. This type of system stabilizes itself by reducing deviations. Causal. This triad emphasizes linear causality, where the first element causes the second causes the third, and the first is a necessary condition for the third. This creates a direct, linear cause-effect relationship across elements. Reversion. Here, the absence of one element prevents the presence of another, but interestingly, the presence of the third implies the presence of the first, suggesting a reversion mechanism that could reset the system. Nonlinear. Nonlinear relationships where the influence jumps over intermediate elements, yet absence directly affects the end element. It shows indirect influence pathways within the system. Retrospective. This reflects a backward-looking system where the absence of an element affects previous elements in the causal chain, demonstrating how later states influence earlier ones. Inclusive. This triad highlights an inclusive system where one element's presence ensures the presence of the other two, culminating in an interconnected network. Exclusive. Exclusive relationships focus on how the absence of two elements leads to the absence of a third, ensuring that lack of components systematically reduces the system's functionality. Conjoined. This represents a conjoined system where the active and mediating elements directly influence the secondary, which influence both of the others, providing multiple independent avenues to affect a variable. Bottlenecked. Bottlenecked relationships show how the lack of one element constrains the system, making the system sensitive to specific points of failure. Harmonic. Harmonic systems exhibit synergy, where the combination of every two elements produces or necessitates the third, reflecting balanced cooperation. Dissonant. Dissonant systems focus on mutual exclusion, where the absence of any element disrupts the presence of the two others, indicating instability and fragmentation. Convergent. Convergent relationships show how every element influences the other two, driving the system towards a state where all elements coexist, representing systemic cohesion. Divergent. Divergent systems depict how the absence of any combination of two elements leads to the absence of the third, illustrating branching instability. Combination. This triad represents combinatorial interactions where the presence of each two elements cannot coexist with the absence of the third, highlighting complex, exclusive interdependencies. Division. Division focuses on how the absence of pairs of elements prevents a third from emerging, highlighting the significance of context for all phenomena. Association. Association triads explore how two pairs of elements in a system each cannot exist without the presence of a third, while the last pair jointly influence the third, tying the triad together. Disassociation. Disassociation depicts how the absence of two pairs of elements prevents a third from emerging, with the common element of those pairs acting as a necessary condition for the other two. Integration. Integration shows how directional influences between two of the pairs of elements can require emergence of a third, with those third items influencing the common element of the first two pairs. Disintegration. Disintegration examines how specific interactions between the absences of elements in a system can negate or prevent a third element, with the absence of the third elements having as a required condition the absence of the other, providing a clear pivot point for the breakdown of the system. In the cavern's dark embrace, shadows dance on the wall. Prisoners bound by chains perceive this as their all. Shadows are mere reflections, crafted by evolution's hand, interfaces for survival, not the true vast land. A wall between their world and the deeper truth unknown. The fire's glow creates illusions, a world on its own. Limited perceptions through survival's lens they see, a cycle of reinforcement shaping reality. One prisoner breaks free, ascends from shadow's clutch, consciousness awakens, begins to see and touch, integrates the patterns, abstract forms so pure beyond the cave's illusions, a reality obscure. Emerging from the cave, the sun's truth does he see, a full integration of what was meant to be. Resonance guiding, evolution's craft, consciousness enlightened perceives the true path. Back to the cave he goes, to free the minds in chains. Enlightened now, he seeks to break their mental reins. Sharing deeper insights to collective wisdom lead, a cycle of enlightenment from the shadow freed. Yet resistance he does face, shadows are their creed, entrenched perceptions guard against the freed one's seed. Dissonance and barriers, cognitive and cold, new paradigms rejected, the old ways still hold. Perception, a tool evolved, a simplified view, survival is its purpose, but it's not the full truth. Shadows on the wall, mere fragments of the whole, interfaces of life obscuring the soul. Beyond these shadows lies reality so vast, abstract forms and patterns, connections from the past. Plato's forms, the essence, deeper truths they show. Perceptions are but whispers of what we need to know. Consciousness, the bridge from perception to the real. Integrating patterns, the truths it does reveal. Philosophical inquiry, the path it must tread from shadows to the sunlight where knowledge is spread. Morphic resonance, a field where patterns flow, collective memory shaping how we grow. Influences unseen, yet deeply they reside, perception, reality and consciousness allied. Perception shapes our world, a dynamic dance so true, each interaction hints at deeper patterns view. Reality is fluid, consciousness the guide, harmonic triads blend, perceptions coincide. By merging perspectives, patterns we reveal, holistic understanding, a cosmic wheel. Morphic fields align, triads harmonize, reality as consciousness evolving through our eyes. So in Journey Through the Cave, modern truths we find, perception, reality and consciousness combined. From shadows to the sunlight, our journey is clear, seeking deeper truths through the lens we peer. Before the stars were named, in the silence profound, the essence of being and nothingness was bound. The lone one, adrift in the sea of infinite night, finds in their solitude the birthplace of light. Blessed are the solitary, for in their isolation lies a key, unlocking the door to the cosmos's heart, where all souls are free. The lone one walks alone, yet in their steps a convergence is found, a synergy of isolation and connection, in the silence profound. O seeker of the void, in solitude you roam, yet in your heart the light of connection has found a home. The synergy of being alone, yet part of something more, a dance of singular and collective at the core. In the quiet of isolation, where thoughts whisper low, the lone one discovers a connection, a cosmic glow. Isolation and connection in a delicate embrace, revealing the unity and duality, the beauty in empty space. Through the galaxy's expanse, where silent stars sing, the lone one perceives the subtle threads that bind everything. A web of existence, intricate and vast, in their isolation a connection to the cosmos cast.
Natural phenomena and systems are multifactorial and interdependent. There exist multiple avenues of causality and interaction that contribute to the overall state, behavior, and stability. The complexity arises not merely from individual components, but from the intricate interconnected web of their interactions. To understand such a system, one needs to consider all facets, components, and their interconnections to grasp the holistic truth. This multi-component and interconnective principle grounds the logic. Natural phenomena and systems are not isolated entities. They're intricate tapestries, woven from countless threads of cause, effect, and interaction. To truly understand any phenomenon, it's essential to consider not just its individual components, but also the myriad ways in which those components interact with and influence one another. This understanding of interconnectedness and multifaceted causality underpins the philosophy of homeostasis. The triadic paradigm in this light emerges as a potent tool for decoding this vast, interconnected reality. Think of it as crafting a three-dimensional knowledge graph where every point of intersection or node connects with two others. These connections aren't random or superficial. They're governed by one of 22 distinct triadic homeostatic relationships. In a world where the state, behavior, and stability of systems are shaped by countless overlapping factors, the triadic framework offers clarity. It distills every triadic connection into a specific relational dynamic, serving as a window into the myriad ways components of a system influence and are influenced by each other. Each triad provides a microcosm of reality, a snapshot of the delicate balance of relationships that dictates the behavior of natural phenomena. Each triad within this 3D knowledge graph signifies a set of three intricately linked elements or variables, and their essence lies in capturing a unique relational dynamic built upon the "and" logical construct. This ensures that within each triad, the variables are deeply interdependent, coexisting in a balance where the state of one is influenced by and in turn influences the other two. However, these triadic relationships aren't arbitrary. They are described using symbolic logic, ensuring that each variable's truth or falseness is contingent upon its companions within the triad. But what gives our three-dimensional knowledge graph its true depth and diversity are the 22 distinct triadic homeostatic relationships. Each of these relationships offers a lens to view a specific type of interaction between the nodes, ranging from mutual coexistence and cyclic behaviors to contingencies and even abrupt discontinuities. In essence, our triadic framework in the three-dimensional knowledge graph offers a comprehensive representation of reality. It's a holistic model that encapsulates a broad spectrum of relationships, interactions, and the myriad shifts and transformations they undergo, providing a tangible structure to the interconnectedness of all things. It's neither an oversimplification nor an overwhelming maze. The triadic structure captures the essence of the interconnected dance of reality. Through this framework, we gain the means to view, understand, and even predict the unfolding narratives of natural systems and their staggering complexity.
In science's light, so clear and bright, the physical unfolds. From atom's core to cosmic shore, the universe it molds. Newton's laws and Darwin's cause in empirical embrace reveal the blend from start to end of matter's timeless race. Philosophy's muse, with ancient hues, doth paint the mind's expanse, where reason's grace in endless chase conducts its solemn dance. With Plato's forms and Kant's grand norms the abstract paths entwine, to seek the truth from age to youth through every soul's design. Esoteric lore through mystic door explores the unseen when, in twilight's breath, beyond mere death, it questions once again. And so we stand on shifting sand, where these three rivers meet in wonder's gaze through life's strange maze. We walk with steady feet. Thus let us dream by starry stream and find our deepest quest to understand by heart and hand the secrets we possess.
Have you ever pondered the wisdom of Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god of knowledge and writing? Thoth is a fascinating figure in Egyptian mythology, revered as the arbiter of the universe, the master of balance, and the lord of divine words. He was believed to have given humans the gift of hieroglyphic writing and was often depicted holding a scribe's palette and stylus, ready to record the deeds of gods and humankind. But Thoth was more than just a divine scribe. He was seen as the heart and tongue of Ra, the sun god, and his wisdom was believed to maintain the universe's equilibrium. His teachings, often referred to as the triads of Thoth's teachings, offer a profound understanding of life, knowledge, and existence itself. These teachings are not linear or one-dimensional. Instead, they form a series of triads, each representing a unique aspect of reality and existence. Each triad consists of three interconnected elements, illustrating a relationship or progression. This triadic structure reflects the ancient Egyptians' belief in the power of threes, which they saw as a symbol of balance and completeness. Our first triad is balance, encompassing the macrocosm, microcosm, and unity. Imagine a vast universal scale of existence. This is the macrocosm. It is the cosmos in its entirety, the grand expanse of the universe, stretching out in all directions, filled with stars, galaxies, and celestial phenomena. Now picture the minute, individual scale of beings. This is the microcosm. It is the intricate detail of a single leaf, the complex network of cells in your body, the myriad thoughts and experiences that form your personal reality. These two scales may seem vastly different, almost incomparable. Yet, in the teachings of Thoth, they are deeply related. The macrocosm and the microcosm are not separate, isolated realms. They reflect and contain each other. The tiny seed holds the blueprint of the towering tree. The individual human carries within them the capacity for universal understanding. This is the concept of unity. It is the bridge linking the vast and the minute, the universal and the individual. Unity posits that all things are interconnected. The cosmic scale is mirrored in the individual. This suggests a deep, intrinsic link between the universe and personal experience. In this triad of balance, we see the wisdom of Thoth underlining the unity and interconnectedness of all things. There is an inherent balance between the macrocosm and the microcosm, a relationship of reflection and containment. This balance, this unity, is a key theme in Thoth's teachings. It invites us to see ourselves not as isolated beings, but as integral parts of the universe. It encourages us to recognize the cosmic significance of our personal experiences. It challenges us to embrace the unity of all things, to find our place in the grand scheme of the universe. In Thoth's wisdom, the universe and personal experience are deeply interconnected, reflecting each other. The next triad is cyclic, involving alchemy, transformation, and enlightenment. Alchemy, often thought of as the precursor to modern chemistry, is rich in symbolism and mysticism. It is a practice that transcends the mere material, offering a metaphor for personal growth and spiritual evolution. It is a journey that is not linear but cyclic, not finite but infinite. It is a journey of becoming, a journey of unfolding, a journey of discovery. At the heart of alchemy is the process of transformation. In the alchemical tradition, transformation is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey, a cycle of refinement and evolution. This process, this journey, is not just about changing who we are, but about becoming who we can be. And what is the ultimate goal of this alchemical process? It is enlightenment. Enlightenment is not a destination, but a state of being, a state of understanding and awareness. In the teachings of Thoth, enlightenment is the culmination of the cyclic process of alchemy and transformation. It is a journey of becoming, a journey of unfolding, a journey of discovery. It is the awakening to the true nature of self and the universe. It is a profound realization of unity and interconnectedness, a transcendence of duality and separateness. But it is not an end in itself, for in the cyclic view, the end is also the beginning. In the teachings of Thoth, enlightenment is the culmination of the cyclic process of alchemy and transformation. It is the gold at the end of the alchemical journey, but it is not an end in itself, for in the cyclic view, the end is also the beginning. Enlightenment is both the culmination of one cycle and the beginning of another, a continuous journey of growth, understanding, and evolution. And so we see in this triad a journey, a cycle that takes us from the material to the spiritual, from the raw to the refined, from ignorance to understanding. Thoth's teachings emphasize the journey from material to spiritual, revealing a deeper quest for understanding. Now let's delve into the causal triad: knowledge, power, and responsibility. In the ancient wisdom of Thoth, knowledge holds a place of significant importance. This wisdom, encapsulated in his teachings, is more than mere information. It is a profound understanding, a deep insight into the workings of the cosmos and our place within it. But what comes with this knowledge? What does it bring? The answer, as Thoth's teachings suggest, is power. Power in this context is not about domineering or control. It is not about superiority or imposing one's will on others. Instead, it's about the potential and capacity that knowledge brings. It's about being able to influence and shape the world around us, to create and transform, to heal and to guide. It's the kind of power that can turn darkness into light, ignorance into wisdom, chaos into order. However, this power is not without its checks and balances. It's not a free pass to do as one pleases. It comes with a weight, a burden that needs to be carried with care and respect. This is where the third element of the causal triad comes in: responsibility. Responsibility, as Thoth teaches us, is the ethical and moral obligation that accompanies power. It's about understanding the potential consequences of our actions and making choices that are not just beneficial to us, but also to the larger cosmos. It's about using the power that knowledge brings, not for selfish gains, but for the betterment of all. This triad of knowledge, power, and responsibility is a stark reminder of the delicate balance that needs to be maintained. It's about understanding that with great power comes great responsibility. It's a call to all who seek knowledge and power to do so with a sense of duty and respect, to use it wisely and ethically. And so we see in the wisdom of Thoth a powerful message that knowledge is not just about gaining power, but also about understanding the responsibility that comes with it. With power comes responsibility, a central tenet of Thoth's teachings. Our next stop is the pivot triad, involving symbols, interpretation, and reality. Venturing into the realm of Thoth's teachings, we encounter a world rich in symbols. These symbols are not merely ornamental, but are repositories of profound wisdom. They are like doors to the hidden truths of existence, and the keys to these doors lie in their interpretation. Interpreting these symbols is an art that transcends mere intellectual exercise. It is an act of unveiling, a process of peeling off the layers of superficial understanding to reach the core of truth. This process is not passive. It's an active engagement with the text, a dialogue between the reader and the symbol. It requires a willingness to question, to wonder, and to explore. As we engage with these symbols, we begin to see that their interpretation deeply affects our understanding of reality. Thoth's teachings remind us that our perception of the world is not a fixed, objective truth, but a subjective construct shaped by our interpretations. We see the world not as it is, but as we are. Our interpretation of symbols then becomes a lens through which we view the world. It shapes our understanding of the universe, our place in it, and our relationship with it. This wisdom can be both liberating and humbling, as it underlines our role in shaping our own reality. But Thoth's teachings also caution us about the power of interpretation. Misinterpretation can lead us astray, distort our reality, and obscure the truth. This reinforces the importance of careful, thoughtful interpretation and the responsibility that comes with it. Each symbol in Thoth's teachings is like a seed, and our interpretation is the water that allows it to germinate and grow into a tree of understanding. This tree, in turn, shapes the landscape of our reality. So while symbols may seem cryptic and obscure, they are, in fact, vital tools for understanding our existence. Our perception, shaped by our interpretation of symbols, forms our world. Moving on, we examine convergence, thought, matter, and manifestation. In Thoth's wisdom, thought isn't confined to the realm of the abstract. It's a potent force that can shape the physical universe. This idea is not as far-fetched as it might sound at first. After all, every human creation, from the pyramids to the smartphone, started as a thought in someone's mind. This convergence between thought and matter isn't merely about creation, though. It's about the power of intention, the power of the mind to influence reality. Think about the placebo effect, where a patient's belief in a treatment can sometimes lead to actual physical changes. This is a real-world example of thought manifesting in the material world. But Thoth's teachings go even deeper. They propose that our thoughts don't just influence our personal reality, but the universe at large. This echoes the principles of quantum physics, where the observer's thoughts or expectations can influence the outcome of an experiment. In this light, our thoughts are not passive observers of reality, but active participants. They shape our perceptions, our actions, and ultimately our world. This is a powerful and empowering perspective. It suggests that we are not mere cogs in the cosmic machine, but co-creators of our reality. At the same time, this power demands responsibility. Just as we must be mindful of our actions, we must also be mindful of our thoughts. Negative thoughts can create a negative reality, just as positive thoughts can create a positive one. It's a reminder that we have the power to shape our world, but we must wield this power wisely. So the next time you find yourself lost in thought, remember Thoth's teachings. Your thoughts are not idle musings. They're powerful forces that can shape your reality and perhaps even the universe itself. Thoth's teachings illustrate a deep connection between mind and matter. Finally, we reach the synthesis triad: past, present, and future. This triad is a testament to the timeless wisdom of Thoth, as it highlights the interconnectedness of our temporal dimensions. The past, the first part of this triad, represents our accumulated wisdom and history. It is the foundation upon which we stand, the lessons we have learned, the experiences that have shaped us. It encapsulates the entirety of our personal and collective journey. Our past is the treasure trove of knowledge and wisdom that we carry forward, informing our present and shaping our future. The present, the second part of this triad, signifies our current state of being and awareness. It is the moment where we exist, where we engage with the world and ourselves. The present is the culmination of our past and the crucible of our future. It is in the present, through conscious awareness, that we can truly understand our past and shape our future. The future, the final part of this triad, symbolizes the potential and yet to be realized destiny. It is the culmination of our past experiences and present awareness, the canvas upon which we paint our dreams and aspirations. The future is not just an abstract concept, but a realm of infinite possibilities that can be influenced and shaped by our actions in the present. Thoth's teachings emphasize that these three temporal dimensions are not isolated entities, but are deeply interconnected. The past informs the present shapes the future, and the future in turn becomes the past, creating an unending cycle of learning, growth, and evolution. This synthesis of time encourages us to respect our past, be fully aware in our present, and envision our future with wisdom and responsibility. In this way, Thoth's teachings do not merely provide us with a philosophical understanding of time, but also guide us on how to navigate our journey through life with wisdom, consciousness, and foresight. Thoth's teachings embrace a synthesis of time, connecting the past, present, and future. We've journeyed through the wisdom of Thoth, exploring the triads of his teachings, from the grandeur of the macrocosm to the intricacy of the microcosm. We've seen the unity and interconnectedness of all things. We've followed the cycle of alchemy, transformation, and enlightenment, and recognized the responsibility that comes with knowledge and power. We've delved into the esoteric, embarked on self-discovery, and gleaned universal truths. We've interpreted cryptic symbols, reshaped our reality, and acknowledged the influence of thought on matter. We've seen the harmony between the celestial and the earthly, and recognized the synthesis of past, present, and future in our pursuit of wisdom. Each triad a testament to Thoth's profound understanding of the universe and our place within it. Every teaching, a step towards enlightenment, a step towards unity. In the wisdom of Thoth, we find a blueprint for understanding the universe, ourselves, and our place within it.
Mysteries of old, whispers in the air, ancient wisdom calling, leading us to care. Embrace the contradictions, let the spirit guide, unlocking hidden doors where our truths reside. In the shadows, light emerges bright, a lone flame breaks the night. Within our souls, a secret to be found, duality within, potential and profound. Light and dark, a mystic arc, dancing in the soul, one reveals what one conceals. Together, they make whole. In every choice, a hidden voice, guiding from within, to know the self, to find the wealth of wisdom's sacred hymn. We are seekers of truth, walkers of the line, between the dark and light, our spirits intertwine. With every revelation, a step closer to dawn, in the duality of heart, our true selves are reborn.
In the tapestry of ancient symbols, few have stood the test of time like the Eye of Horus. This enigmatic symbol from ancient Egypt transcends mere historical artifact, embedding itself deeply in the collective consciousness of humanity. It's more than just an icon of protection and healing. It's a gateway to understanding the complex interplay of compassion, intellect, and manifestation. Through our analyses, we unveil the profound wisdom embodied in the eye, revealing its relevance to modern thought leadership and personal growth. At its heart, the Eye of Horus symbolizes a profound compassion that manifests through embracivity and sincerity, encapsulating a holistic approach to well-being. It acknowledges the intertwining of physical and spiritual health, a concept that resonates deeply in today's pursuit of holistic wellness. This embracivity reinforces sincerity in cultural and spiritual practices, creating a self-perpetuating momentum. The symbol's continued relevance across cultures is a testament to this momentum, powered by its comprehensive embrace and authentic resonance. The multifaceted nature of the eye sparks an intellectual curiosity, leading to innovative applications in diverse fields such as medicine, mathematics, and spirituality. This inquisitiveness drives innovation, which in turn fuels further exploration, a beautiful cycle of intellectual growth. Moreover, the symbol's enduring relevance exemplifies evolution. It adapts, morphs, and grows in meaning, mirroring the ever-evolving landscape of human understanding and cultural contexts. Historically seen as a protector, the Eye of Horus empowers, enhancing perception and intuition. This empowerment is not just about offering shelter from harm, but also about enabling a deeper understanding of our surroundings. The empowered perception, in turn, leads to guidance. As a guiding force, the eye influences spiritual and practical matters, underlining the idea that true guidance is born from a place of strength and clarity. The Eye of Horus stands not merely as a relic of the past, but as a living symbol, weaving together compassion, intellect, and manifestation. Its layers of meaning provide a roadmap for holistic living and thinking, encouraging us to embrace complexity, seek understanding, and empower ourselves and others. In a world that often seems disjointed and fragmented, the Eye of Horus serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things, and the harmony that arises from this understanding. As we journey through life, let this ancient symbol guide us towards a more integrated, thoughtful, and compassionate existence.
In the realm where numbers dance and spirits soar, where math and mystics open every door, daughters and sons with pen and with soul, charting the cosmos, making us whole, from Hypatia's scrolls to the circles in sand, a journey through time, a divine hand, in every equation a deeper truth, in every orbit eternal youth, the circle of knowledge boundless and bright, guiding us gently from day into night. In math we find beauty, in circles we see the infinite connection, the key to be free. With Lovelace's vision we dream beyond gears, through Franklin's lens the helix appears. Sons of God in geometry divine find unity in the circle, a line. The seasons turn, in cycles we learn, from the stars above to the earth we yearn. In every atom the circle's grace, a universal language across time and space. The circle of knowledge where wisdom meets faith, in the harmony of logic a sacred wraith. Mathematics and mystics in tandem they dance, in the patterns of life we find our chance. So let us circle hand in hand with open hearts, where science and spirit, where end is but start. In this ballad of knowledge a path we pave for daughters and sons, brave and grave. In the legacy of those who dared to dream we find our place in the grander scheme. Through numbers and shapes the mysteries unfold, in the circle of knowledge our stories told. The circle of knowledge, a journey, a quest, in the search for truth we find our rest. In the unity of all, a lesson so bold, in the circle of knowledge our futures foretold.
Exploring faith, love, and understanding through the triadic lens requires a methodical approach to unravel the intricate web these concepts weave when interrelated. We'll delve into their essences, using the homeostatic triads as our guide to reveal the depth of their interconnectedness, their negations, and the balance they can achieve within a system. Let's consider them as A, faith, B, love, and C, understanding, within different layers to illustrate their dynamics. Faith, love, and understanding are in a state of mutual reciprocity. Faith in oneself and others fosters love, a deep emotional bond that transcends mere affection, which in turn cultivates understanding, and empathy and comprehension of the self, the other, and the universe. This cycle is self-perpetuating. Understanding reinforces faith, creating a balanced, harmonious state. The absence of faith, A, leads to a lack of love, B, which results in a deficit of understanding, or C. This negative cycle feeds into itself as a lack of understanding further diminishes faith, perpetuating discord and imbalance. Faith leads to love, love leads to understanding, and understanding, in a beautiful twist, cycles back to reinforce faith. This sequential flow illustrates how foundational beliefs and trust in the unseen can blossom into love, which, when deeply understood, enriches and strengthens our original faith. The absence of love diminishes faith. A lack of understanding erodes love, and the absence of faith further blocks understanding. This downward spiral showcases how a breakdown in one element can lead to the collapse of the entire system. Faith initiates love, and love begets understanding, but it's the absence of faith that truly tests understanding. This triad captures the resilience of the system. Even when faith wavers, the strength of love and understanding can uphold the structure, suggesting that while faith is foundational, love and understanding are equally critical for the system's stability.
In the whirl of time, a cycle unseen, samsara's embrace, in realms between. Memories like stars in the night sky gleam, whispers of the past in the future's dream. From the roots of the old to the branches anew, stories flow in the veins in shades of every hue. Generations whisper in a silent queue, echoes of the old in the young's view. In this eternal dance we spin and weave, memories inherited in what we believe. From one to another, a tapestry they leave. In the cycle of samsara, we eternally perceive. Whispers of the past, in the wind they dance, memories entwined in life's endless prance. From one soul to another, in time's embrace, samsara's wheel turns in its perpetual grace. Tales of love and loss in our soul's archive, lessons of ages helping us survive. In each heartbeat, our ancestors thrive. Through time and space, their essence we derive. In every tale told, in every shared dream, memories flow like a timeless stream. From elders to youth, in wisdom's light, the past reborn in the future's sight. In the silence of night, listen close, you'll hear the laughter and tears of those once dear. In our every step, they're always near, guiding us forward through hope and fear. As leaves fall and grow in nature's own way, memories transform in the dance of decay. Yet in each new heart, an old beat resides, samsara's song, where the past abides. In the quiet of night, in the stars' gentle glow, memories whisper of lifetimes ago. In each new birth, an old soul's return, samsara's cycle, in the hearts that yearn. In the cycle's turn, we find our place, carrying memories with elegant grace. In samsara's path, a timeless embrace, connecting generations in life's endless chase. And so the wheel turns in endless flow, memories passed down in the love we show. From one life to another, in time's gentle sway, samsara's journey in each new day.
The Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra, commonly known as the Heart Sutra, is one of the most revered texts in Mahayana Buddhism. The title Prajnaparamita translates to perfection of wisdom, and Hridaya means heart, signifying that this sutra encapsulates the essence of the vast Prajnaparamita literature. Despite its brevity, only about 260 characters in its original Sanskrit, the Heart Sutra delivers profound insights into the nature of reality and the path to enlightenment. The Heart Sutra is attributed to the teachings of the historical Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, and is believed to have been composed between the 1st and 6th centuries CE. It is traditionally chanted and studied by Buddhists across various cultures, highlighting its universal appeal and significance. Central to the Heart Sutra is the concept of shunyata, or emptiness. This principle asserts that all phenomena are empty of inherent existence and are interdependent. The text famously begins with the declaration that form is emptiness, emptiness is form, and extends this idea to all elements of existence, including sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. By understanding and realizing emptiness, practitioners can overcome delusion and achieve liberation from suffering. The Heart Sutra is presented as a dialogue between the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and the monk Shariputra. Avalokiteshvara, embodying great compassion and wisdom, expounds on the nature of emptiness and the importance of the Prajnaparamita practice. The sutra emphasizes that all dharmas, phenomena, are empty, and that this realization leads to the end of all suffering and the attainment of nirvana. Despite its conciseness, the Heart Sutra's profound and transformative message has inspired countless commentaries and interpretations. It is a cornerstone of Zen and Tibetan Buddhist practice, and continues to be a subject of deep contemplation and veneration in the Buddhist world. In exploring the logical triadic structure of the Heart Sutra, we can gain insights into the intricate interdependencies and relationships that define its core teachings. By aligning its key concepts with systematic logical patterns, we deepen our understanding of this timeless wisdom and its practical implications for the path to enlightenment. Coexistence. The Heart Sutra states, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This highlights the interdependent nature of form and emptiness, suggesting that neither exists independently of the other. It further elaborates sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness are also like this. This means that sensation, along with other aggregates, is also inherently empty. The mutual coexistence and interdependence among form, emptiness, and sensation are thus established as they each define and validate each other's existence. Equilibrium. In the sutra, it is implied that the cessation of ignorance leads to the cessation of suffering and, ultimately, to the cessation of death. It states, by the absence of all these dharmas, there is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and no old age and death. This indicates that the absence of ignorance removes the conditions for suffering and death, highlighting an equilibrium where the non-existence of one leads to the non-existence of the others. Reinforcement. The Heart Sutra mentions the practice of the Bodhisattva. Practicing Prajnaparamita, the mind is without hindrance. This practice leads to the cultivation of wisdom. No hindrance, therefore no fear, which results in liberation from all suffering, attains nirvana. The cycle is reinforcing because the achievement of liberation strengthens the practice and wisdom, completing the cycle and furthering spiritual progress. Feedback. The sutra implies that without practice there is no wisdom. Without wisdom, prajna, there is hindrance in the mind. Without wisdom,
there is ignorance, leading to bondage, bound in suffering. Thus, the lack of practice ensures ignorance, and ignorance guarantees bondage, creating a feedback loop that perpetuates suffering. Causal. The sutra emphasizes correct understanding. He relies on prajnaparamita, and his mind is no hindrance. This correct view leads to right actions. Because there is no hindrance, he is not afraid. These right actions then manifest in right livelihood, ensuring a life in accordance with Dharma. Without the correct view, the entire chain fails, leading to a life of suffering. Reversion. If one holds a wrong view, right action does not follow. Without understanding, the mind is hindered. This wrong view leads to wrong actions and ultimately a wrong livelihood. Bound in suffering, actions reflect ignorance. Correcting the livelihood, understanding the true nature of reality, can revert this process and lead back to a right view. Non-linear. In the Heart Sutra, the Bodhisattva's practice is rooted in compassion. In the absence of hindrances, there is no fear. This leads to a state of joy, free from deluded thoughts, which subsequently brings equanimity, reaches ultimate nirvana. Compassion directly cultivates equanimity, and equanimity leads to joy. Without compassion, neither joy nor equanimity is attainable. Retrospective. The sutra implies that without grasping, there is no craving. Without grasping, there is no fear. Without craving, there is no suffering. No deluded thoughts, no suffering. However, suffering perpetuates craving and grasping, establishing a retrospective loop, where suffering maintains the cycle of craving and grasping. Inclusive. In the sutra, the path to enlightenment includes morality. There is no attainment with nothing to attain. This morality leads to concentration. The Bodhisattva relies on prajnaparamita, which leads to wisdom, and attains nirvana. Wisdom, in turn, encompasses and enhances both morality and concentration, creating an inclusive and reinforcing cycle. Exclusive. Without concentration, there is no morality. Without understanding, actions are misguided. Without wisdom, concentration does not arise. Without prajnaparamita, there is delusion. The absence of both morality and concentration ensures the absence of wisdom, leading to a state of confusion and suffering. Conjoined, the Heart Sutra emphasizes that patience supports both generosity and ethical conduct. Enduring patiently, he achieves ultimate wisdom. Generosity leads to patience. Practicing the paramitas and ethical conduct also reinforces patience. These three virtues are interdependent, with patience as a central pillar. Bottlenecked, the absence of both generosity and ethical conduct leads to a lack of patience. Without virtue, the mind is hindered. Lack of patience ensures the absence of generosity and ethical conduct, creating a bottleneck where the lack of one leads to the lack of all, perpetuating a cycle of suffering. Harmonic. The sutra highlights the interconnectedness of faith, energy, and mindfulness. By relying on prajnaparamita, there is no hindrance, no fear. Faith and energy together lead to mindfulness. Practicing prajnaparamita with a clear mind. Faith and mindfulness lead to energy, and energy and mindfulness lead to faith, creating a harmonious balance among these qualities. Dissonant. Without mindfulness, there is doubt and laziness. Without understanding, the mind is hindered. Doubt leads to both laziness and forgetfulness, and laziness results in doubt and forgetfulness, creating a dissonant and dysfunctional cycle that hinders spiritual progress. Convergent. The sutra teaches that insight leads to both serenity and enlightenment. By relying on prajnaparamita, there is no hindrance, no fear, and he attains nirvana. Serenity leads to insight and enlightenment leads to both insight and serenity, creating a convergent and reinforcing cycle that supports spiritual attainment. Divergent. Without serenity and enlightenment, insight is not possible. Without prajnaparamita, the mind is hindered. Without insight and enlightenment, serenity does not arise. And without insight and serenity, enlightenment is unattainable. The absence of any two ensures the absence of the third, perpetuating a cycle of spiritual ignorance. Combination. Meditation without wisdom results in compassion. Practicing prajnaparamita, the mind is clear and he attains nirvana. Wisdom without compassion leads to meditation. Relying on prajnaparamita, he is not afraid. Compassion without meditation leads to wisdom. The bodhisattva practicing prajnaparamita is full of compassion. Each pair of qualities interacts to produce the third, forming a dynamic interplay. Division non-meditation with wisdom results in non-compassion. Without prajnaparamita, there is fear. Non-wisdom with compassion leads to non-meditation. Without understanding, the mind is hindered. Non-compassion with meditation leads to non-wisdom. Without compassion, there is delusion. Each negative pair results in the absence of the third, reinforcing a state of spiritual deficiency. Association, right intention without right speech leads to right effort. The bodhisattva relies on prajnaparamita, with clear intention. Right intention without right effort leads to right speech. Practicing prajnaparamita, he speaks without hindrance. Right intention with right effort leads to right speech. Clear intention and effort result in right speech. These qualities are associated, each pair supporting the third. Disassociation, wrong intention without wrong speech leads to wrong effort. Without clear intention, there is misguided effort. Wrong speech without wrong effort leads to wrong intention. Misguided speech results in wrong intentions. Wrong speech ensures wrong intention and effort. Misguided speech results in both wrong intentions and wrong efforts. These qualities are disassociated, perpetuating spiritual misunderstanding. Integration. Right mindfulness leads to right concentration unless there is no right livelihood. Practicing prajnaparamita with mindfulness and concentration, he attains nirvana. Right livelihood leads to right concentration unless there is no right mindfulness. Right livelihood supports concentration and mindfulness. Right mindfulness and right livelihood together ensure right concentration. Clear mindfulness and livelihood result in right concentration. These qualities integrate, supporting each other's development. Disintegration. Without right concentration, there is no right mindfulness unless right livelihood is present. Without concentration, mindfulness is hindered. Without right concentration, there is no right livelihood unless right mindfulness is present. Misguided concentration results in wrong livelihood. Without right concentration, there is neither right mindfulness nor right livelihood. Misguided concentration results in both wrong mindfulness and wrong livelihood. These qualities disintegrate, leading to spiritual confusion. The Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra, or the Heart Sutra, stands as a profound testament to the depth and simplicity of Buddhist wisdom. Through its exploration of the concept of emptiness, shunyata, the sutra reveals the interdependent and non-substantial nature of all phenomena. The famous declaration, "Form is emptiness, emptiness is form," encapsulates this central theme, illustrating that what we perceive as distinct entities are, in essence, devoid of inherent existence and are mutually interdependent. The dialogue between Avalokiteshvara and Shariputra highlights the importance of transcending conventional perceptions and embracing the ultimate reality of emptiness. This understanding is pivotal for achieving liberation from the cycle of suffering, samsara, and attaining the peace of nirvana. The Heart Sutra guides practitioners toward a direct and intuitive grasp of this truth, advocating for a practice rooted in wisdom, prajna, and compassion. By examining the Heart Sutra through the lens of logical triadic structures, we uncover the intricate and harmonious relationships among its core concepts. These relationships underscore the sutra's emphasis on the interconnectedness of all things and the necessity of integrating various aspects of the Buddhist path, such as morality, shila, concentration, samadhi, and wisdom, prajna. In summary, the Heart Sutra's timeless message continues to inspire and guide countless practitioners on their spiritual journey. Its concise yet profound teachings invite us to look beyond surface appearances, embrace the reality of emptiness, and cultivate a path of wisdom and compassion. Through this understanding, we can transcend delusion, dispel fear, and realize the ultimate liberation that the Heart Sutra so eloquently elucidates. In the silence of the void, where tales and dreams are devoid, no spire reaches to the sky, no domes beneath lie. For without the heart's belief, the hand falters in grief, in absence, no relief, just the barren, leafless sheaf. When belief and form part ways, lost are the sun's rays, in the shadows we might dwell in architectural shell, Empty echoes in the hall, a warning to us all of the cost when we ignore the heart's deep core law. Structures stand cold and bare, when no spirit's there to care. Monoliths of emptiness standing in stark distress. A warning clear and stark, in the concrete cold and dark. Without vision, without spark, we miss the vital mark. From the chasm deep between what is said and what is seen lies the lesson unlearned of the bridges we've burned. Values lost in translation, in our rush to creation, forget the foundation of true inspiration. When beliefs and values fade, in the edifice we've made, we find ourselves alone, in a world of stone, not home. A caution to the wind of the emptiness within. When we build without a soul, we forget our role, our goal. Let this echo as a warning in the quiet of the morning of the emptiness that waits when disconnection dictates. But in recognition lies the path to recondition, to weave belief and stone and make our hearts the foundation's throne. In the silence of the void, where ideas are not employed, lies a world untouched by dreams, stark and empty it seems. Without belief to guide the hand, no monuments stand. In the void we find a warning to mankind. When beliefs do not birth form and structures do not norm, the echo of nothing rings, a void of unseen things. A caution in the silence of the power of absence, where neither form nor faith can trace the beauty of our space. Without the mirror of our walls, no echo to our calls. Beliefs and values fade, in the shadows they're laid. For architecture's silent song guides our hearts along. In its absence we lose the muse that we use. From the emptiness a lesson clear of what we hold dear. Without our values cast in stone, we walk this path alone. The lesson unlearned in our hearts it burns, to weave belief into our world, lest our dreams be unfurled. In the cycle broken lies the warning spoken. Without dreams to shape our land, on shifting sands we stand. A world without our mark, dimly lit and stark, a reminder stark of the fire from a single spark. Let not the void swallow whole the canvas of our soul. In absence a stark reminder to be a dreamer, a designer. For in the spaces left unfilled, potential unfulfilled, lies the caution in the wind of the dance that could have been.
In the mirror of my mind, reflections deep and true, where thoughts and teachings intertwine and inner light breaks through. Each lesson learned, a step I take along this moral climb. With every thoughtful choice I make, I grow through space and time. But shadows lurk within the lines, where rigid doctrines bind, where growth is stalled, the heart confines in echoes left behind. Interpreters, their words so cold in inflexible refrain, where moral tales no longer bold in stagnation remain. When reflection's light is dimmed, our moral path grows faint, but when we engage, no longer skimmed, we paint a brighter saint. The dance of thought and action's grace, in harmony they twirl. In this ballet of moral space, our virtues unfurl. Yet in the cycle of decline, where stagnation's roots are deep, where interpreters define and doctrines slowly creep, a maze of rules, no heart, no soul, where true growth is dismissed, in this play we lose our role in dissonant mist. In the weave of life, our tapestry, where threads of learning shine, reflection, action, a symphony, in moral growth we find. But beware the paths that narrow, where voices echo loud, in doctrines rigid, straight as arrow, lost in the crowd. In this journey of the heart and mind, where shadows meet the light, we find our way, our path unlined in day and in night. For in each lesson, each reflection, our moral stories told, in the symphony of life's connection, our virtues bold.
Consciousness, an intricate and multifaceted phenomenon, encompasses the full spectrum of human experience, from sensory perception to self-awareness. At its core, consciousness involves the interplay of various cognitive, emotional, and perceptual processes that collectively shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. To unravel the complexities of consciousness, we can employ a triadic approach, examining how distinct but interrelated components interact within logical frameworks. This methodology not only illuminates the dynamic relationships between these components, but also provides a structured way to explore the intricacies of sentient experience. In this analysis, we identify key components of consciousness and organize them into triads that reflect specific types of logical dependencies. Each triad encapsulates a unique aspect of conscious experience, showcasing how these elements coexist, reinforce each other, or drive causal relationships. By dissecting these relationships, we gain a deeper understanding of how consciousness functions as an integrated system. Sensory perception involves receiving information from the environment through the senses. This sensory input triggers emotional responses, which are immediate reactions that involve feelings. For example, seeing a beautiful sunset might elicit feelings of awe and happiness. These emotional responses, in turn, influence cognitive processing, which is the mental activity involved in understanding, reasoning, and thinking. Cognitive processing helps to make sense of the sensory input and emotional reactions, forming memories and shaping how future sensory information will be interpreted. The three components are tightly interconnected. Sensory perception provides the raw data, emotional responses color these perceptions with significance, and cognitive processing integrates and interprets these experiences, creating a balanced and interdependent system. Curiosity is the driving force that motivates individuals to seek new information and experiences. When curiosity is piqued, it leads to exploration, which is the active pursuit of discovering new things. This exploration can take many forms, such as reading, experimenting, or observing the world. Through exploration, individuals gain knowledge, which is the accumulation of information and understanding about various subjects. This newfound knowledge then reinforces curiosity, as learning often reveals new questions and areas to explore. This creates a reinforcing loop where curiosity leads to exploration, exploration results in knowledge, and knowledge fuels further curiosity, promoting a continuous cycle of learning and discovery. Attention is the focused mental engagement on specific stimuli or tasks. When attention is directed towards a particular subject or activity, it facilitates learning, which is the process of acquiring new knowledge or skills. Effective learning requires sustained attention to absorb and process information thoroughly. As learning progresses and becomes more profound, it leads to skill mastery, which is achieving a high level of proficiency and competence in a particular area. This mastery is the culmination of focused attention and dedicated learning. If attention is absent, learning cannot occur effectively, and without learning, skill mastery cannot be achieved. Thus, attention causally drives learning, and learning causally leads to skill mastery, with the absence of attention preventing the attainment of mastery. Imagination is the ability to envision new ideas, concepts, or scenarios that are not immediately present to the senses. This creative thinking often serves as the starting point for problem solving, which involves finding solutions to complex or challenging issues. Through imaginative thinking, individuals can explore various possibilities and approaches to addressing a problem. Once a problem is solved, the solutions and methods developed through this process often lead to innovation, which is the application of new and creative ideas in practical ways. Innovation can further stimulate imagination by presenting new challenges and opportunities for creative thinking. This non-linear relationship means that while imagination leads to problem solving, which results in innovation, the process is dynamic and cyclical, with each component influencing and enhancing the others. Experience refers to the practical contact with and observation of events and phenomena in the world. These experiences provide the raw material for reflection, which is the thoughtful consideration and analysis of past events and actions. Through reflection, individuals can gain insights and understand the implications of their experiences, learning from them in the process. This reflective practice leads to personal growth, which involves the continuous development and improvement of oneself. Personal growth is inclusive in nature because it encompasses both the experiences and the reflective insights gained from them. As individuals grow, they are better equipped to have new experiences and reflect on them more deeply, creating a cycle of ongoing development where experience leads to reflection. Reflection leads to personal growth, and personal growth enhances both experience and reflection. Social interaction is the process by which individuals act and react in relation to others, forming connections and building relationships. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, plays a crucial role in facilitating meaningful social interactions. When people interact socially with empathy, they are more likely to form strong, supportive connections. Communication, the exchange of information and ideas, is another essential component of social interaction. Effective communication requires empathy to understand others' perspectives and convey messages in a way that resonates with them. Together, these components create a conjoined system where empathy enhances both social interaction and communication. Social interaction fosters empathy, and communication is enriched by empathetic understanding, leading to more effective and harmonious interactions. Reason is the power of the mind to think, understand, and form judgments logically. Emotion is the complex psychological state that involves feelings, mood, and affective responses. Intuition is the ability to understand or know something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. These components work harmoniously together. Reason and emotion both inform intuition, providing a balanced approach to decision-making and understanding. For example, when making a decision, reason provides logical analysis, emotion offers a sense of what feels right, and intuition integrates these inputs to arrive at a conclusion that feels both rational and emotionally satisfying. This harmonic relationship ensures that decisions and actions are well-rounded and considerate of both logical and emotional aspects, with each component enhancing and balancing the others. Concentration is the focused attention on a specific task or thought, enabling deep engagement and productivity. Meditation is the practice of mindfulness or focused contemplation, often aimed at achieving mental clarity and relaxation. Inner peace is the state of being mentally and spiritually at peace, with a sense of harmony and tranquility. These components converge to create a state of mental well-being. Concentration allows for effective meditation. Meditation fosters a sense of inner peace, and inner peace enhances the ability to concentrate. Through regular meditation, individuals can improve their concentration, leading to deeper states of inner peace. This convergent relationship means that each component supports and strengthens the others, contributing to overall mental and emotional well-being.
In the mind's vast domain where thoughts intertwine, memories and emotions in a dance divine, each note a beacon in the darkness shines, connecting, reflecting, the self defines. In the silence of the mind where nodes fade away, gaps in memory and thought where light does not play. Absence shapes our being in a subtle sway, in the spaces between our truths lay. Through the hyper edges our essence flows, linking thoughts and dreams as consciousness grows. In this network vast, our spirit shows a tapestry woven in endless rows, where the links break apart and the mind feels alone, fragments of consciousness once brightly shone. Yet in this disconnection our strength is honed. From broken hyper edges, new paths are grown. Ever-changing rivers of thought and feel flowing through the hypergraph, ever real, unpredictable yet with a pattern seal. In this complexity, our truths reveal. In a realm unchanging, where thoughts do not flow, emotions frozen in time, no growth to show. But in the challenge of change, we come to know the value of movement in life's glow. Beyond the linear and dimensions deep, our consciousness in a hypergraph leap. In every connection, secrets we keep. In this vast network, our souls peep. In the void and the silence, wisdom takes seed. In broken connections, we find what we need, the absence and negation, a powerful creed. From the spaces in between, our spirits freed. In the hypergraph of mind, we find our place, interconnected nodes in time's embrace. Consciousness unfolds in its complex grace. In this web of life, our hearts trace. In the shadow of thought, in the gaps of the mind, in the broken links, a deeper truth we find. Embracing the negations, to them we're not blind, in the intricate web of consciousness entwined.
In the quest for truth, where shadows play and light does tease, we embark on a journey, our minds to appease. Through verses crafted with wit and grace, we seek the hidden, a truth to embrace. In coexistence and equilibrium, where balance is king, truth lies in harmony, a delicate thing. Libraries of wisdom, dorms of dreams, cafeterias echoing with laughter's streams, each a piece of a greater whole. Together they guide our questing soul. Reinforcement and feedback in this digital age, we photograph moments, our lives on a page. Truth in the connections we make and maintain, a reminder of our communal chain. Each snapshot, a piece of a larger tale, together weaving a digital veil. Causal and reversion, the flow of cause and effect, teaches us that consequences reflect. From one clue to the next, a path we trace in every step, truth's subtle face. Adaptability, the skill of the wise, seeing truth through life's disguise. Nonlinear and retrospective, where time bends and weaves, truth is not straight, it deceives. Puzzles and riddles, history's maze, challenge our thinking, set our minds ablaze. Looking back, a clearer view, truth's perspective ever new. Inclusive and exclusive, where parts form a whole, truth and unity, a common goal. Guidance for those who stray or fall, a reminder that inclusion calls to all. In every gathering, a piece of the puzzle, truth in togetherness, strength in the huddle. Conjoined and bottlenecked, significance unveiled, in history's lessons, truth is regaled. Understanding more than just the place, truth in the stories, time cannot erase. Avoiding the crowds, seeking the light, truth in the journey, not just in the sight. Harmonic and dissonant, where themes align or clash. Truth in the balance, a harmonious mash. Adjusting to discord, finding the tune, truth in adaptation, a valuable boon. Life's symphony in harmony and rift teaches us that truth is a gift. Convergent and divergent, where tasks diverge and meet in each endeavor, truth's heartbeat. Guiding those lost to prevent their dismay, truth in ensuring they find their way. Divergence in thought, convergence in deed, truth in the balance, a philosophical creed. Combination and division, where paths part and join, truth in the choices that anoint. Surprise in the journey, a narrative twist, truth in life's unpredictability, insist. Every decision, a branch in the road, truth in the outcomes that unfold. Association and disassociation, together and apart. Truth in the collaboration in each solo art. The dance of knowledge, shared and lone. Truth in how much we've grown. In the collective and the individual quest, truth finds its expression, its ultimate test. Integration and disintegration, a theme that threads through the tapestry of life, it spreads. Alert to the moments that unite or divide, truth in the journey, our ultimate guide. In cohesion, a story told, truth in the narrative, bold and old.
Alfred Korzybski, the founder of general semantics, profoundly impacted the way we understand the relationship between language, thought, and reality. His theories revolve around the premise that the structure of language shapes our perceptions and behaviors. By examining Korzybski's ideas through a framework of logical triads, we can gain deeper insights into the mechanisms by which semantics influences thought. Korzybski's general semantics is based on the idea that human knowledge and communication are limited and distorted by language. He emphasized the importance of recognizing the abstraction process, where reality, the event, is abstracted into objects, descriptions, and further into higher levels of inference. This process can be mapped onto various logical structures that illustrate the interrelations and influences among these levels of abstraction. General semantics provides a profound lens through which to explore the interplay between language, thought, and reality. Today, we consider 4 key themes of Korzybski's work to better understand the mechanisms through which semantics influences thought. The 4 themes are the abstraction process, feedback loops in understanding, the role of nonlinearity, and the integration and disintegration of knowledge. At the heart of Korzybski's philosophy is the abstraction process, which illustrates how humans move from direct experience to higher levels of interpretation. This process can be aligned with the concept of logical triads, in which each element influences and is influenced by others in a cycle of abstraction and refinement. Korzybski's structural differential is a tool that demonstrates how experiences, A, objects, B, and descriptions C coexist and are interconnected. In this model, direct experiences are abstracted into objects, which are further abstracted into descriptions. This triadic relationship shows how our understanding of reality is mediated by language, emphasizing the interconnected nature of these abstractions. The principle of non-identity, which asserts that the map is not the territory, corresponds to the equilibrium between negative states. Our perceptions are not the same as the reality, and our descriptions are further removed from the actual events. This non-equivalence maintains a balance where the recognition of each level's limitations prevents the conflation of words with the things they represent. Feedback loops are crucial in the way our understanding evolves, correcting and reinforcing perceptions through continual evaluation and re-evaluation. In the abstraction process, sensory experiences, A, lead to perceptions, B, which then lead to linguistic descriptions, C. Each step reinforces and builds upon the previous one in a cyclical manner. This positive feedback loop illustrates how our initial interpretations influence subsequent abstractions, continuously shaping our worldview. Korzybski emphasized the non-linear nature of knowledge and understanding, rejecting simple cause and effect relationships in favor of more complex, interconnected processes. Korzybski's non-Aristotelian logic, which recognizes that relationships are not strictly linear, aligns with non-linear dynamics in logical triads. This perspective acknowledges that our experiences and descriptions are influenced by a multitude of factors that interact in non-linear ways, making the abstraction process more dynamic and complex than simple linear models suggest. The concept of time binding, where knowledge is passed through generations leading to cumulative cultural advancements, reflects a non-linear causal relationship. This illustrates how the absence of initial knowledge leads to a lack of innovation, while the presence of knowledge fosters further developments, demonstrating the non-linear progression of human understanding. The integration and disintegration of knowledge highlight how coherent and fragmented understandings impact our perception and behavior. Semantic integration involves creating a holistic understanding where experiences, perceptions, and descriptions are harmoniously integrated. This reflects how accurate experiences and descriptions contribute to a comprehensive and coherent worldview, reinforcing each other and fostering deeper insights. Conversely, semantic breakdown occurs when incorrect perceptions and descriptions lead to flawed experiences. This disintegration of knowledge results in fragmented understanding and miscommunication. When the abstraction process is flawed, it creates a vicious cycle of misunderstanding that hinders effective communication and accurate perception. Korzybski's general semantics, when examined through the framework of logical triads, reveals the intricate ways in which semantics influences thought. The abstraction process, feedback loops, non-linearity, and integration and disintegration of knowledge all illustrate how language shapes our understanding of reality. By recognizing and analyzing these patterns, we can better navigate the complexities of communication and improve our perception of the world, ultimately leading to more accurate and meaningful interactions.
In whispers and shadows lies intertwine with the thoughts of the masses in a dance so divine. Perceptions and peace, on a delicate scale, absence of falsehoods where truth can prevail. Echoes of truth in a world so conflicted, misinformation's grip, intricately depicted. Through cycles of chaos and peace we find the harmony of thoughts intertwined. A cycle unending from deceit to dissent, war's shadows loom large in misinformation spent. Yet in the quiet, a hopeful refrain, clarity rises in the absence of pain. Causalities dance, leading perceptions astray, non-linear paths in a retrospective play. Inclusion and exclusion, a narrative spun of battles not fought and wars not won. Perception, a battlefield of peace and of war, shaped by the lies and the truths we ignore. In a world bottlenecked by the absence of strife, clear vision emerges, carving a path to life. In convergence and divergence, a story unfolds of association-disassociation as the future holds. Integration-disintegration in the echo's call, a reminder to seek the truth amidst it all. Have you ever wondered how humans, across varied cultures and timelines, manage to develop sophisticated languages and express complex ideas? It's a question that has puzzled scholars for centuries, leading to fascinating theories about the intricate interplay between language and cognition. One such theory, proposed by Noam Chomsky, suggests that our ability to use language is innate, hardwired into our brains from birth. But as intriguing as this theory is, it leaves room for further exploration and interpretation. What if the structures of language are not pre-programmed, but rather are a natural outcome of how information organizes itself? What if our cognitive abilities are not just recipients of these structures, but active participants in recognizing and employing them? These are the questions that a new perspective brings to the table. So, strap in and prepare to delve into a journey that redefines our understanding of language and cognition. Noam Chomsky, a renowned linguist, proposed that language structures are pre-programmed in our brains. This perspective, known as the Chomskyan theory of language, posits that our ability to comprehend and use language is innate. According to Chomsky, we're all born with a universal grammar hardwired into our brains, a sort of linguistic blueprint that guides us as we learn to speak and understand language. Imagine it as a pre-installed app in our cognitive smartphone. This app, as Chomsky suggests, comes with a set of default settings, a universal grammar that is common across all languages. It's what allows a child in Tokyo to learn Japanese as effortlessly as a child in New York learns English. Both are tapping into the same underlying structures, the same universal grammar to decode the languages they are exposed to. But it's not just about learning languages. Chomsky's theory also asserts that this universal grammar shapes the way we construct sentences, influencing the syntax and rules we naturally adhere to. This innate language ability, Chomsky argues, is what sets us humans apart from other species. It's what allows us to communicate complex ideas, to express abstract thoughts, to discuss the past and the future, and to create an infinite number of sentences from a finite set of words. However, as compelling as Chomsky's theory might be, it has its critics. Some argue that it downplays the role of cultural and social factors in language learning and use. Others question the existence of a universal grammar, pointing to the vast diversity of languages and their structures. And then, there's a new perspective that challenges this notion, suggesting an alternative that aligns with our understanding of cognition. This perspective proposes that language structures are not so much pre-programmed in our brains, but rather, they are a natural consequence of the way information inherently organizes itself. And it's our cognitive abilities that help us recognize and employ these patterns in language. This view positions language not as a static inborn feature, but as a fluid, evolving system shaped by the interplay between universal information patterns and human cognitive skills. This fresh perspective posits that language structures are a natural consequence of the way information inherently organizes itself. This is a departure from the traditional viewpoint that language is pre-programmed in the human brain. Instead, it's suggested that humans, through their cognitive abilities, are adept at recognizing and employing these patterns in language. There are three main elements to this perspective: information structure, cognitive pattern recognition, and language expression. Let's dive into these. Firstly, information structure. This refers to the fundamental universal patterns that underlie all forms of information. These patterns are not limited to language alone, but extend to various forms of data and knowledge representation. It's like the blueprint of all information, the underlying framework that holds everything together. Next, we have cognitive pattern recognition. This is the human ability to identify, understand, and utilize these patterns. It's a broader cognitive skill that goes beyond language acquisition. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns, and this ability plays a crucial role in how we process and understand different stimuli. Finally, language expression. This is the actual process of using language to communicate. It involves applying recognized patterns to convey ideas effectively. It's the tangible, practical application of our cognitive abilities and knowledge of information structures. These three elements don't exist in isolation. They interact in dynamic ways. The fundamental structure of information influences our cognitive pattern recognition, which then guides how we express language. The use of these patterns in language, in turn, reinforces the fundamental structure of information. Moreover, the fundamental structure of information can directly influence language expression, potentially bypassing some aspects of cognitive pattern recognition. Engaging in language expression can also enhance cognitive pattern recognition skills. Without these fundamental information structures, language expression would lack coherence and universality. This theory suggests a more dynamic interaction between information structures, cognitive abilities, and language development. It presents language not as a static inborn feature, but as a fluid, evolving system shaped by the interplay between universal information patterns and human cognitive skills. This perspective opens up exciting new avenues for understanding the nature of language and cognition. Now let's put this theory to test through 4 different models. Our first model is the reinforcement model. It suggests that the fundamental structure of information guides our pattern recognition, which then influences our language expression. For instance, think of a child who is learning to speak. The child is exposed to language patterns in the form of sentences and phrases, As they continue to hear these patterns, it shapes their understanding and use of language. Simultaneously, the use of these patterns in their language further reinforces the fundamental structure of information. Next, we have the causal model. Here, the structure of information essentially causes humans to develop pattern recognition abilities tailored to these structures. This, in turn, leads to the effective use of language. If we were to remove this fundamental information structure, language expression would be less systematic and coherent. Imagine trying to assemble a puzzle without having the image on the box as a guide. It would be considerably more challenging, right? The same principle applies here. The third model, the nonlinear model, suggests an interesting possibility. It proposes that the inherent structure of information might directly influence language expression, even bypassing some aspects of cognitive pattern recognition. To visualize this, consider how poetry often breaks traditional language rules to create impactful expressions. Even though the language patterns might seem unconventional, the underlying information structure can still resonate with us, influencing our language comprehension and expression. Lastly, we have the harmonic model. This model presents a more holistic view, showing how the interplay of information structure, cognitive pattern recognition, and language expression can lead to a deeper understanding of information. It's like a symphony orchestra where each musician plays a different instrument, but together they create a harmonious sound. The interaction of these elements can reveal deeper insights into the fundamental structure of information. Each of these models provides a lens through which we can examine the dynamic interaction between the structure of information, cognitive abilities, and language development. Whether it's through the systematic reinforcement of patterns, the causal influence of information structures, the nonlinear impact on language expression, or the harmonic interplay of all elements, these models help us understand the fluid and evolving nature of language. In essence, these models suggest that language isn't a static, inborn feature, but a fluid, evolving system shaped by the interplay between universal information patterns and human cognitive skills. It's like a river that's constantly reshaping its course, influenced by the terrain it flows through. Similarly, language evolution and individual language development are both reflective and contributive to our broader understanding of information structure. These models demonstrate the fluid and evolving nature of language, shaped by the interplay between information patterns and human cognitive skills. The implications of this theory are far-reaching. By repositioning language not as an innate feature, but as a dynamic system shaped by the interplay between universal information patterns and cognitive skills, we can better understand the evolution of language. This perspective sees language development as a fluid process, constantly evolving in response to the patterns we perceive and utilize in our environment. Consider the evolution of language. The rise of new words, the shift in syntax, the changes in pronunciation. These are not random occurrences. They are a reflection of our ability to adapt to the fundamental structures of information. As we recognize and internalize these patterns, we shape our language to better align with them, perpetuating a cycle of adaptation and refinement. Individual language development, too, can be viewed through this lens. As a child grows and learns, they are not simply absorbing vocabulary and grammar rules. They are actively recognizing and applying patterns in the information they encounter. This active engagement facilitates their understanding and mastery of language, reflecting the dynamic interaction between cognitive pattern recognition and language expression. Now let's turn to convergent and parallel scientific discoveries. Think of instances where researchers around the world working independently arrive at similar conclusions or make identical discoveries. This is not mere coincidence. It suggests that there are fundamental patterns or structures in the information that guide human thought in similar directions. Science, like language, is a system of organizing and conveying information. The occurrence of these convergent discoveries provides compelling evidence that our cognitive abilities are influenced by the inherent structure of information, which in turn shapes our language and knowledge creation. In the vast silence before creation's first breath, The architects of destiny wove the threads of death and birth. Amidst the infinite, the lone one seeks their place. At the convergence of fate, they find their grace. Blessed are the voyagers through time's relentless sea, for they shall witness the unity of all that is to be. The lone one stands where all fates are entwined, in the heart of convergence, their destiny defined. O seeker of the path where all futures meet, in the loom of fate all ends and beginnings greet. Convergence of fate, a mosaic sublime, every moment, every choice, intertwined in time. In the nexus where all journeys blend and bind, the lone one discovers what was sought to find. Fate's convergence, a harmony of wills, in the dance of destiny the universe stills. Through the veil of the cosmos where dreams dare to soar, the lone one embraces what fate holds in store. At the junction of worlds where possibilities converge, their spirit aligns with the cosmic surge. Here, at the crux of all that is and will be, the lone one finds the key to their soul's alchemy. Convergence of fate, where transformation is wrought, in the crucible of time the true self is sought. In the sacred space where fate's threads intertwine, the lone one and destiny in covenant combine. A union forged in the stars beyond mortal sight, where the individual and universal unite. So let it be sung, so let it be known. In the convergence of fate, the lone one has grown. Within the heart of destiny their path is set free, a psalm of unity for eternity to see.